Hello, teachers. I'm Lucas Hirschberger from QuantHub. If you haven't heard of us before or are new to QuantHub, we are a digital literacy platform that helps teachers and students develop crucial 21st century skills. We focus on data literacy, AI literacy, and essential workforce readiness skills. Whether you're looking to earn professional development credit or equip your students with future-ready skills, this onboarding video will walk you through everything you need to know about using the platform. By the end of this video, we hope that you'll feel confident navigating QuantHub and understanding its core goals. Let's begin by navigating the platform. QuantHub is divided into different apps you can access through the 9-dot menu on the top right corner of your screen. The Learn app for teachers and students to access learning content and professional development. Teach app for teachers to manage classes, assign lessons, and grade student work. The Admin app for administrators or IT staff to get a high-level overview of school-wide activity. Students will just be equipped with the Learn app. Let's start with the Learn app since it's a core experience for both students and for teachers pursuing PD. When you click on the Learn app, you'll be dropped into your most recent learning path, as you can see as learning Data Citizen most recently. Let's go to our whole view just for a second. Here, you can see all of our available learning paths. Think of each learning path like a digital textbook, organized around a specific subject or goal. If you want help choosing which learning paths would be best for you and your students to explore based on your curriculum and content, feel free to reach out to support@quanthub.com, and we will be more than happy to assist you. You can also navigate your enrolled learning paths by clicking the blue button here. As you can see, I'm learning AI Foundations, Data Citizen, and Getting Started, which serves as our tutorial learning path. If you're enrolled in a specific learning path from a teacher, such as a student enrolled in Miss Jones' Algebra 1 class for first period, whatever learning path they select, let's just say Miss Jones selected Data Citizen, it's a Data Citizen, Miss Jones, first period below. Since I'm not enrolled with any teachers, it's just the generic learning path names. Taking a little bit deeper dive into our learning path, let's just take a look at Data Citizen. They're broken down into units, which you can access through the path button here. If we're sticking with a textbook analogy, that is. If you're thinking of Data Citizen as a textbook, these are all the different units that are available for students. To access different learning activities, click Continue into one of these units, and then master this skill. You can also hit this three-dot button right here for a teacher view. You can assign the learning activity using this link here or preview it. But for students and for PD purposes, you'll hit master this skill. When you're exploring a lesson, you'll find a couple key features. On the top right and top left, we have gamified features. Students can earn 110 neurons for getting this point correct. They'll also lose lives or hearts by getting questions incorrect. Students will get timed out of this learning activity if they lose all their hearts or answer 5 questions correctly. We also encourage students to learn by themselves or self-teach. Students can do this by hitting study before answering if they don't know the answer to this question. This will bring them to a brief article. We target a 5th grade reading level because that's industry standard for technical text. We also want to encourage students to both be able to teach themselves about topics and increase their digital literacy skills. This is essential in today's workforce. When they review this text, they should be able to answer this question. You'll also see the green mastery bar on top. Again, students will get timed out if they answer 5 questions correct or lose all their lives, but students should be able to go for 100% mastery by the end of the assignment. So you can see I'm 50% mastered right now. Maybe I'll answer 5 questions correctly and boost up to about 85% mastered. Students can go back and continue to learn about this skill, about data literacy, and to get 100% mastery. Let's just hit pause and come back later. We have a variety of different assignments and learning paths. Let's take a quick look at our AI Foundations learning path for you to see one of our assessment activities. If we go to a market analysis, you can hit the test button right here to see one of our assessment activities. And this walks students through a real life scenario. So in this case, you're Sarah, who's a marketing coordinator, and you have a $15,000 quarterly marketing budget. You're going to try to use AI to help you. We don't have generative AI, but we do have AI prompts that allow students to interact with AI and learn about it without experiencing generative AI for themselves. If you start the simulation, you'll first receive an email from your quote boss in this simulation. This is crucial because students really want to learn about what an actual day in, day out job looks like, and reading emails and understanding tasks based on this is important. So you're given your assignment here, and then you're dove into the actual assignment here. As you can see on the left-hand side, we have an AI prompt and output. This is not generative AI. Students cannot utilize this. This is just getting them familiar with the platform without giving them the entire availability. Students will answer questions critically based on the information to the left and try to get the highest score on the assessment possible. For professional development, you can select any of your learning paths. Let's just select Data Citizen for right now. As you can see, you have Alabama teachers register for PD. This will take you to a PDF that will also be available and provided to you at the time of your account creation. By clicking on this PD, you'll see all of our options for professional development. We have over 100 hours of different professional development options. You can see all of them are teams approved, but you can also see which ones are available for specific teachers. For example, applied data science. These available learning paths are only available for math and science teachers. We have a plethora of different options. Let's just take a look at Data Citizen. This is probably our most popular professional development option. You can see how many hours you earn. You'll get the PowerSchool link here and a link to take you to Learn in QuantHub. Make sure you register in PowerSchool before completing the learning path. Click here to register in PowerSchool, and click here to be taken to the specific learning path. Complete all 5 of these different learning activities to 100% mastery, and you'll receive a certificate available in your profile. We'll talk about a little bit about this later. Make sure that you're registered in PowerSchool and complete our post-onboarding survey so we have all the necessary information, and you should receive your professional development credit by the end of the month. If you have any questions about PD, email us at support.quanthub.com. Again, we have over 100 different hours. Once you complete data literacy, you can always go back and review this, but once you've earned professional development credit for a given year with data literacy, you cannot earn that same credit again the next year. You'll have to choose one of our different learning paths. Again, if you have any questions about PD, contact us at support@quanthub.com. Now that we have covered the Learn app, how to earn PD and experience QuantHub for yourself, let's go to the Teach app. To navigate to the Teach app, click on the 9 dots up here and select Teach. The Teach app is where you will create classes to get students involved with QuantHub, assign assignments using lesson plans, as well as grade. To start creating classes for your students. As you can see, I already have a class right here. You can see your current classes or filter by all classes to see all time. You can also see past classes in the archive manner right here. To add a class and get started, simply hit the Add Class button. This is actually a new screen that we've made. It's a lot cleaner than before to make it hopefully just easier than ever to create classes. So let's just say you're a math teacher. We can start punching this information. So you can put Algebra 1, course number, section number if you have it available. Choose the most aligned subject area. You can choose grade levels. Let's just say you're a CTE teacher and you might have multiple grades in one class. You can always select multiple. Period, you can select first period. If you're on a block schedule, you can always change it by that. I actually have a first period already, so I'll do second period. We'd also highly recommend doing it in this format rather than just putting 1, 2, 3, etc., because this will appear for students and teachers to make it a lot easier to be organized. So we have the format here already, but make sure you try to stay aligned with that to best have the student and user experience for that. Hit the most accurate session. So you can choose a spring or all year session, or if you're in fall, you can choose which session mostly aligns to you. And below here, we have all of our learning paths options. These are, again, kind of the textbooks of QuantHub. We have a ton to choose from. We really suggest choosing 1 to 3 at a time to make sure that the content that students have access to is most aligned with your class and course objective. If you ever need help or want suggestions on what to be covering with your students, you can always contact us at support.quanthub.com. We'd love to be able to help you out and choose which paths are best for you. Our most common ones are probably ACT, Math, and Science for those areas, Data Citizen, and Data Security. We also have paths around AI, Excel for Business Analytics, which is great for CTE courses, Critical Thinking for Programming for those AP Comp Sci classes. We have a lot to choose from. If you ever want help, again, support@quanthub.com, and we'd be more than happy to help you. So let me just click on these just for the meantime. Add to class. You can always change these if you'd like. So if we go to classes, you can see my class periods are right here. I can edit the details here, which would take me to the roster page up here, which is new. And you can see how many students and teachers are enrolled. The roster page is how you'll manage your classes. So you can switch between your classes at any time here. You can also hit the details here to be taken to that correct class. The roster page is a great way to manage your class. So here you can edit all those details that we just had. You can always add and subtract learning paths right here or archive the class if needed. The join code is how you'll get students into this class, especially if you don't have the LMS app that we have. So all you have to do is hit this copy button or hit this copy button here and paste that into your LMS. Once students click on that link, they will be joining this QuantHub class. They can either create a new QuantHub account if they've never had one before using their student email and password, or they can sign into their current QuantHub class if they already have one from another class. So this is a good feature to get students in. This is how you'll assign students to the QuantHub class. You can add a co-teacher right here. So this is great for instructional aids or maybe co-teaching sections. This is a great feature here. And then you can enroll students right here. So I'll just enroll myself for the time being, just so you can see that screen. As you can see, you can manage students right here. This is where you can reset their password, update the student's name or information. Let's just say they put an emoji or misspelled their name in whatever way. You can update here, or you can archive that student if that student has dropped your class. So this is a great feature right here. Also, this is the student view of a class. Um, as you can see, it'll have the teacher name and the period number here, as well as the assigned learning paths available for that student. So that's the roster page. This is a great page to manage your classes once they've been created. And now we'll move on to assigning work using the lesson plans tab. Before moving on to the lesson plans tab, I did want to mention that we have a LMS app for Schoology and Canvas that are available for those two. And the benefits of the app is that students can access QuantHub directly on their Schoology or Canvas. The classing and rostering process also is automatic. So you just have to click a few buttons and these classes will be made for you and it will pull all the students from your roster in your LMS and automatically add them to a QuantHub class. You can also assign work through the QuantHub app and instead of doing it through the lesson plans tab. And these assignments will auto grade to your Schoology or Canvas roster or gradebook, excuse me. If you're interested in this feature, it makes using QuantHub even easier. Please reach out to support@quanthub.com and get us in contact with your IT department so we can install the app for you. We'll give you all the necessary information, including how-to guides, once that app is installed in your district, Schoology, or Canvas. So please let us know if you're interested. And now let's move on to the lesson plans tab. To assign content, click the lesson plan page on the left. It will default to the learning path you selected during class creation. This doesn't mean that you can't assign different learning paths if you so choose, but it's just for your convenience. Each learning path is structured like a textbook, as we previously mentioned. You can think of these as individual units or chapters to access all the skills and teacher materials available. You can either assign the entire chapter, such as data literacy, by clicking the assignment button here. This would give students to all skills available in this unit. If students complete and master all the skills available in this unit, there's a certificate available for them in the Your Profile section, and we'll talk about this at the end of the video. Again, all you have to do is click Assignment, it'll copy to your clipboard, and paste that into your desired LMS. You can assign individual skills if you click this arrow here. You can also see all the available skills here. Let's just start with becoming data literate. You can bookmark this lesson right here if you'd like to, if it's one of your favorites. You can also add a note such as first week, unit 2, anything that's helpful for you, and will give you a kind of recap on what you like about this. If you add that bookmark here, it'll remain blue. You can also see all your bookmarks here or here. This is also useful for the Schoology and Canvas app if you so choose. You have a specific bookmark section there to quickly assign all your favorite bookmarked lessons. To assign becoming data literate, click this arrow. You can assign the learning activity the same way that the unit or chapter by hitting this learning activity button It'll copy to your clipboard and you can paste that into your LMS. You can title this Becoming Data Literate assignment. You can preview the assignment here if you want to see all the available questions during the assignments. That way, as students are progressing through this skill, you're able to help them because you've already previewed the content. You can see keywords for students. This would be a great bell ringer, or maybe a pre-work activity for you to talk about this keyword or the keywords available. You also have an I can statement here. I can become data literate to introduce world data and understand why data literacy is important. This varies. Some of them are very direct correlations to I can statements, but I think this is an awesome thing because I know from my experience as a teacher, I always had to have my I can statements on the board for students, and it can give them good perspective. Again, to assign become data literate, all you have to do is hit learning activity and paste to your desired LMS. Let's go back. If you want to assign a different learning activity or learning path, you can always click here and do the same process. If you're interested on finding which content is aligned to your standards, you can always hit standards here. Let's just say you're a math teacher. This was the example in this one. We can hit Alabama's course of study mathematics and scroll down until you find your content. I think for this one, I chose Algebra 1. So I'll scroll down until we find Algebra 1. Where are we? As you can see, we're aligned to a lot of different content. Let's just do Algebra 2 because I scrolled here. You can see the different standards that we're aligned to and the different learning assessments that we've correlated with this. For example, introduction to reading and charts, we've correlated to graph functions expressed symbolically and show key features of a graph. This makes sense. When you see duplicates here, such as Data Citizen, ACT Science, it's just because this skill is utilized in different learning paths. This like individual assignment is used in these different learning paths because we find it most correlable. Choose the one that makes most sense for you. For example, Data Citizen would make sense for me to do this top one because it's Data Citizen. I can assign this, hit learning activity, and paste that into my assignments. These standards should give you a good gauge on what assignments and learning paths are most aligned to your goals. Again, always reach out to us using support at quanthub.com if you need help with this feature as well. Once you've assigned content to students, it's time to grade and report on them. You can do this in two different ways. You can either select class reports to be taken to the report on that specific class period that you're in, or you can go to all reports to see all the available classes you have. They function the same. The only difference is that all reports you'd have to navigate to your desired class. For class report, it would take you directly to the ones that you're talking about. You can navigate the reports by which activity you're trying to grade. For the most case, it'll be just a skill. And go to skill, find the skill that you're trying to grade. This is again going to be within the Data Citizen pathway. It might be easy if you assign something that's not in your desired pathway to go to all reports so you can select the path that you would like to grade. Let's stick in class reports for a little bit. Once you find the skill, I believe our first skill that we assigned was becoming data literate. You can see all the students' names have started, their mastery content, and the amount of attempts that they've had. Once they have completed or 100% mastery, you can also see a green check mark here. If you're just grading on mastery, that's easy. Like I'd put this as a 57% or 57 or 5.7 out of 10, 57 out of 100, whatever you would like to do. You can also download reports here. You can download the entire learning path report. That would be that first unit or chapter we talked about, or you can download the skill report for that individual skill, becoming data literate. Same thing in all reports. If we're in the Algebra 1 class that we made, we are on the data citizen path. We can go to becoming data literate. Same result as here, just a little bit more filters available. You can also download the reports right here. If you need help with this, let me know. Again, you can switch in between different activities. If you're also looking for an overview of all the students in that path, you can see them here. It'll take you to a quick example of what they've done recently. This is a great way to see just how students are progressing through that. You can also see activity in that class, what they've done recently, how many neurons they've had, how many skills they've achieved within a certain date range. Make sure that you have an applicable date range. For example, this is 1103 to 12-28. This might be an inaccurate date range if you're trying to grade the second semester, for example. So make sure that you have that date range accurate for what you're trying to report on. But you have all the available different activities that we have in this drop down here to help you navigate. The last thing that we have to talk about is in the Your Profile section. This is an awesome section to see what activity or kind of an overview of your account. Students also have access to this Your Profile section. Here you can see the recent activity. So if you are checking up on students, if you're just doing a quick check-in on students and you're just going from student to student and seeing what they've done recently, this is an awesome option to say, hey, open up your profile, let me see what you've done in the last couple days, couple weeks. The achievement section will have all of their available certificates. Once they've achieved a certificate, they can download that report here. Your school will have a leaderboard. Right now, this is our company, or our school, QuantHub, has a leaderboard right now. You also have a global leaderboard, which you can see all available neurons in the past week. This is just a fun thing to keep students competitive. You can also see an overview of your paths and classes, and you can always switch your default one here as well. You can change settings here. You can update your password or change any settings that you need right here. If students would not like to see their names on the leaderboard, they can always hide their names right here. And this is kind of the Your Profile section, just more fun statistics for students to get them competitive, as well as see your achievements. For teachers, if you are curious on whether you've done the necessary stuff to receive your professional development credit, it should be found here. The learning path that you're working on. It should be available here. Some of them do not have certificates. You can check on if they have certificates or not in the lesson plans category. For example, data literacy, this is a professional development option, has a certificate available. Once you've completed that section, it should be available in your achievements. But AI Foundations is also a available professional development option, and it does not have a certificate available. For the most part, they mostly have certificates, so that's a good check. But if not, if you're always curious, you can email us at support@quanthub.com. Thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions about the platform, learn, teach, your profile, how to grade, anything like that, please reach out to us at support@quanthub.com. And once you have access to an individual team member, we'd be more than happy to meet with you, talk, and do a live audio session. We also love to do in-person activities with groups. So if your department is interested in utilizing QuantHub, whether that be for professional development or with students, we'd love to come out and visit you guys all across Alabama. Thank you so much for your time today, and we can't see the impact you'll have in the classroom. Have a great one. Bye.